else out there? So whoever doubled with Rory, if I missed you, please go ahead now. ZS6 OPS standing by.
ZS6 JNG, no traffic. I think I doubled with Rory. ZS6 Whiskey Hotel Yankee with no traffic. ZS6 Whiskey Mike Bravo, no traffic.
All right, let's acknowledge the extras. ZS6 JNG, ZS6 Whiskey Hotel Yankee, ZS6 Whiskey Mike Bravo. 17:33, another 2 minutes and then we'll get started. ZS6 OPS standing by. What's that, Arjan?
Chad, with only 2 on Zoom, we can just as well kill it on the side, I think.
I think we must keep it up in case the guys come up later. All right, I heard somebody else key up there. ZS6 OPS standing by. Any further call-ins, including Echolink? And also just to acknowledge the only one up on Zoom at the moment is Adrian, ZS6SNY. So let's hear anybody else out there. ZS6 OPS standing by. Right, 17:34, no further call-ins as yet. Another minute and then we'll kick off. So second last call, ZS6 OPS still standing by. Right, final call, 17:35. Any other call-ins? ZS6 Oscar Papa Sierra standing by.
Chad, Sabrina would like you to know that she's also here listening, even though she doesn't have an amateur radio license. ZS6 RB,
Yeah, affirmative on that one, Rory. Acknowledging Sabrina standing by there with you. Nothing wrong with her calling up on Alpha 6. It is available. That's the advantages of having the additional frequency for non-amateurs. And of course, there's also Zoom for those that are out there. Right, let's kick off. Good afternoon, everybody. This is ZS6 OPS coming to you live yet again. And I have to play in the live yet again. COVID-19 seems to be having a bit of an impact on people, so we need to make sure that we know exactly what our current status is. The last couple of months on the air, well, I'm sure that there's been a virus running around there that everybody's been off. This is the biggest net we've had in several weeks. So thanks everybody that has called up. Those of you that are listening, don't be shy, come join us. This net is run every Sunday afternoon by me from 17 hours 30 for approximately an hour. The net is designed specifically for those that have an interest in EMCOM or emergency communications. It's not specifically designed anymore for just purely radio amateurs, non-amateurs, and anybody else is more than welcome to join us on Zoom or on any of the additional radio networks that are now available. And of course, you don't need to be a member or a member of anybody, entity, or otherwise to come up on the amateur bands. All you need is your ICASA license. So before we get started, I need to remind all the radio amateurs your licenses are due by the close of business on Tuesday. Ultimately, please make sure you've paid. If you've done a 5-year license, just make sure you haven't forgotten, you know, when your expiry date is. 5 years tends to come and go quickly. And, well, like other things, you tend to forget about it. And when you look again, you're outside of your expiry date. But we won't go into detail on that one, not at this stage anyway. Let's have a look-see. The whole idea of this afternoon's net was to do radio checks. Now, seeing as we have the following stations up, ZS6JRN, ZS6RBJ, ZR6RTN, ZS6SNY, ZS6KBN, ZS6SJR, ZS6ADT, ZS6GRG, ZS6FPS, ZS6VRL, ZS6JNG, ZS6 Whiskey Hotel Yankee, and ZS6 Whiskey Mike Bravo. And this is ZS6 OPS clearing the timeout timer. And ZS6 OPS returning. Guys, what I'm going to suggest we do is everybody now switch over. Now listen, before you do the switch over, please listen to the instructions and follow the instructions. And let's stick to the instructions so that we can have a coordinated and organized simplex matrix testing. So the instructions are, when the gun goes off, the starting gun goes off, please go to 145.400, no tones, simplex, and stand by and wait. Do not call in. Through various stations, I will start calling in to see who I can hear first. Each and every single one of you, please, I'm going to give you the list of call signs again. Write them down. You should have already done so, pen and paper in hand, and you should have made note of who is on net. Once I've established who I have got contact with, I will know who I do not have contact with. And I will be asking certain stations in certain locations to try and establish a contact with you guys as we move forward. So please follow the instructions to the letter. Do not just call in, otherwise we will call in over each other and will ultimately end up doubling with other stations. So for now, I will still remain as net controller. However, please stand by until you hear somebody calling your call sign. During each of the call-ins, make a note of who you can hear. And when you are called, answer the controller as he calls. That way you will establish within this network who it is you can hear. Once we come to, I'm going to set a deadline. We will probably kick off at 5:45, 17:45. At 1800, all current stations are returned to 145.625. repeater with tone if for some reason you have dropped off. Okay, ZS6OPS clearing timeout timer. ZS6OPS returning. Firstly, I see Corey has come up on Zoom. Guys, anybody else that wants to come up on Zoom, please do so. Once you connect, please mute your mic immediately. Wynand ZS6 Whiskey Mike Bravo says he's got some serious lightning, so he's going off air. So please take note of that. I have also seen Rion M come up. Welcome, Rion, on Zoom. Stick around and I'll speak to you as soon as we are finished. Just sit back, grab a cup of coffee, monitor the proceedings, and we will take it from there. Okay, so here's the list of call signs to listen out for and to mark off. Zulu Sierra 6, Juliet Romeo Mike. Zulu Sierra 6, Romeo Bravo Juliet. Zulu Romeo 6, RTN. Zulu Sierra 6, Sierra November Yankee. Zulu Sierra 6 Kilo Victor November. ZS6 SJR. ZS6 ADT. ZS6 GRG. ZS6 FPS Foxtrot Papa Sierra. ZS6 Victor India Lima. ZS6 JNG. ZS6 Whiskey Hotel Yankee. And as I say, ZS6 Whiskey Mike Bravo, he's bailed out. And Rion's call sign is ZS6 Mike Alpha November. Rion, I don't know if you can come up on air. If you can, I'm going to give you a gap. Otherwise, I'm going to start. ZS6 Mike Alpha November. ZS6 Oscar Papa Sierra.
Sorry, I'm new to the group. I just want to see what it's all about, but I will join in the future. Been invited by Yapi.
All right, everybody stand by from ZS6OPS. Okay, Rion, have you got a radio operational at the moment or not? Let's just get an indication on that, over.
I've got a radio, but it's not set for any of your frequencies.
All right, cool. Then you and I will pick up just now, monitor, and I'll bring you in. You are current paid up ECRN license holder, correct?
That's right, yes. Just renewed as well.
All right, so what I'll do is I'll give you an opportunity just now, and we'll link Zoom up on the 625 when we do a final greeting. Stand by one. All right, guys, 1745, let's all stations please proceed to 145.625. If you genuinely do not hear anybody, remember 1800 back here. It is now 1745. We got 15 minutes to work through everybody. ZS6OPS will be standing by and listening on the 625.
625 or 400, Chair?
Now, you guys all go over to 400. I am standing by and monitoring 625. I don't want anybody monitoring the 625. I want you on the 400. I will monitor the 625. As I said, all stations, please go to 145.400 from ZS6OPS. All right, ZS6OPS on 145.400. Let's hear who is out there. I will. Let's just give it a few minutes for everybody to switch over. All right, hopefully the guys don't take that long to switch over. So let's kick off with ZS6 JRM, ZS6OPS. All right, ZS6RBJ, ZS6OPS.
Copy that 55, ZS6RBJ.
Thank you, ZR6RTN, ZS6OPS. I know you said you got issues, but you might not be here. But if you are, go ahead from ZS6OPS.
R6RTN, I can hear you 4 out of 5. I'm not sure if you can hear me.
Acknowledge so far all stations 55 my side. ZS6SNY, ZS6OPS. Thank you. ZS6KVN, ZS6OPS.
ZS6OPS, ZS6KVN, yeah, 55.
Thank you. ZS6SJR, ZS6OPS.
ZS6SJR, yeah, and standing by.
Thank you. ZS6 Alpha Delta Tango, ZS6OPS. All right, I've got negative copy on ADT. I want to stop at this point. I want to go to Adrian. Adrian, please call Zulu Sierra 6 Alpha Delta Tango, establish contact, then hand it back to me from ZS6OPS.
ZS6SNY is in control. ZS6 Alpha Delta Tango, can you hear me? ZS6SNY. ZS6ADT, ZS6SNY, can you hear me? Negative copy, control back to OK.
Thank you. ZS6SJR is ZS6OPS. Please call ADT for me.
Acknowledge ZS6ADT, this is ZS6SJR. This is ZS6ADT, this is ZS6SJR. That's a negative ZS6OPS.
Acknowledged. Let's move on the list. I'll try and pick him up on WhatsApp to find out he is in the Magaliesburg. However, George, glad to hear you back up. Let's see if you are on Simplex. ZS6GRG, ZS6OPS. Okay, I've got negative copy on George. Adrian, please try and raise 6GRG from 6OPS.
ZS6SNY calling ZS6GRG. ZS6GRG, ZS6SNY. Negative copy, back to OPS.
All right, fantastic. We'll try and find out where George is. ZS6FPS, ZS6OPS.
ZS6OPS on ZS6FPS, it's 5 copy.
Thank you. ZS6 Victor India Lima, ZS6 Oscar Papa Sierra. All right, nothing heard. ZS6 JNG, ZS6OPS.
ZS6OPS from ZS6JNG. Yes, I read you 5
Okay, thank you. John, please call 6 Victor India Lima and see if you can raise him from ZS6OPS.
ZS6 Victor India Lima from ZS6 Juliet November Golf. Do you read it well, over? ZS6 VIL from ZS6J. Do you read it over? ZS6OPS from ZS6J. Negative copy my side.
All right, acknowledged. Thank you. George, stand by one. Let me see if Stephen can raise you. ZS6SJR, ZS6 OPS, please call GRG again.
ZS6GRG, this is ZS6SJR, copy. This is ZS6SJR, ZS6 Sierra Juliet Romeo. Okay, copy that. Okay, just stand by ZS6 OPS, ZS6GRG, he does copy me.
All right, good stuff. Just ask George to open his squelch because I could copy him now. I think his squelch might be too high. Then he can confirm whether he can copy me there. ZS6SJR from ZS6 OPS.
Copy that. ZS6GRG, ZS6SJR. Just reduce your squelch because you, Chad, can barely hear you. Just come, best even to switch it off, George. George, just go ahead on that. ZS6GRG and ZS6SJR. Standing by. George, did you copy that? ZS6GRG, ZS6SJR. ZS6SJR, ZS6GRG. Reduce our squelch, but not too late. Thank you. ZS6 OPS, did you copy that from ZS6GRG? This is ZS6SJR standing by.
Yeah, affirmative, I did. I don't know if George can hear me. George, if you can hear me, please just come back to me quickly. ZS6GRG, ZS6 OPS. All right, fantastic. I'm going to do another call, another round of calls there, and then you can tick off who you can and can't hear. ZS6 Whiskey Hotel Yankees, ZS6 Oscar Papa Sierra. All right, nothing heard there from Neil. Neil is Black Band side. John, ZS6 JNG, please call. ZS6 Whiskey Hotel Yankee, ZS6 OPS.
ZS6 WHY, ZS6 Whiskey Hotel Yankee. This is ZS6 Juliet November Golf. Do you read the other? Okay, great. Well, thank you very much. Chad was calling you from the Westland there. I'm picking him up about 3:05, 3:05. You're obviously not able to hear him. Maybe turn your squelch down a little bit and I'll pass it back to him and he'll try again to contact you. Is that affirmative?
All right, thanks, John. Tell him to stand by there for a minute. I just want to go through the list again and check to see who cannot hear who. Okay, let me phrase it this way. James, my question to you, who did you not hear? ZS6 JRM, ZS6 OPS?
ZS6 OPS, ZS6 JRM, Chad, the following people I was unable to copy, ZS6 Golf, Romeo Golf, ZS6 Alpha Delta Tango.
ZS6 Papa Mike. In your order, ZS6 will be here.
Juliet Beta Golf and Juliet ZS6 Papa Sierra. Those are the people I was unable to hear. Over.
All right, acknowledged. ZS6 RBJ, your list of stations you could not copy quickly, ZS6 OPS.
No copy on ADT, GRG, FPS, BIL, JNG, and WHY. Over.
Okay, acknowledged. ZR6 RTN, ZS6 OPS, your list over.
tell who I came here. RBJ, ECR, and OPS. That's what I think.
Okay, acknowledge ZS6SNY, ZS6IPS. We've got 3 minutes to finish.
JRM 1 out of 5, RBJ 1 out of 5, RTN 1.5 out of 5, ADT 0, GRT 0, VIL 0, WHRY 0.
Acknowledged ZS6KVN, your list from 6IPS.
ZS6 IPS, ZS6 KVN. I can barely copy ZS6 ADT and GRG. Victor India Lima, I couldn't copy at all. JNG, very noisy, and WHY, very noisy.
Thank you. ZS6SR, ZS6IPS, your list over.
I didn't copy ZS6 ADT, ZS6 VRL, and ZS6 MAN. I thought that he was on the list, I didn't copy that. And then ZS6 WHY, very low down, unreadable.
Acknowledge, thank you. ZS6ADT, ZS6IPS. Okay, Adrian, or who was it that could copy Yapu ADT from ZS6IPS? Nobody. All right, then we're going to have a chat with him about antennas there. ZS6DRG, ZS6IPS, your list.
ZS6IPS, ZS6DRG. Zero copies, except SKR, OTS, with I turn the cross down, and then RBJ and RTU or very low down. And I'll zero copy of this.
Acknowledge, thank you. 6FPS, 6IPS.
The list that I could not hear was RBJ, RTN, ADT, GRG, VIL, JMG, and WHY. Back to you, the 6 OPS and the 6 FPS.
Acknowledge, thank you. Okay, I'm going to skip back to 6 JNG from 6 IPS, and as soon as you finish, just find out from WHY who it is that he could actually hear over.
Okay, will do. JRN 1 out of 5, RBJ 1 out of 5, RTN 1 out of 5, SNY 5 out of 5, KVN 2 out of 5, SJR 5 out of 5, ADT negative copy, GRG negative copy, FTS negative copy, VIL negative copy, and WHY 5 out of 5. MAN, nothing doing there. I'll contact WHY now and find out what he will do here.
Okay, go ahead.
06 WHY from 06 JNG. Could you please give me who you could copy and what the signal strength was like out of the list? I don't know if you got the list all over. Thank you very much there from 06 Chad, I don't know if you're still there. WHY didn't get anybody except GRG about a 1 out, a 1, VIL 2-4, and myself a 5-9. WHY he didn't receive, and MAN he didn't receive, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, good stuff. Fantastic, guys. Let's go back to 145.625. Tune up, and I will do around the call-ins. for finals there. I'll give you guys a minute or two. We are 2 minutes behind the schedule. ZS6 IPS now clear and releasing 145.400. All right, good stuff. Let's see if everybody is back here. ZS6 JRM, ZS6 IPS.
36 LP, 36 JRM, 5 over.
All right, ZS6 RBJ, ZS6 IPS.
We are back to the 6 RBJ.
Thank you, ZR6 RTN, ZS6 IPS.
ZS6 OPS, ZR6 RTN. I could be repeating.
Thank you, ZS6 SN. Wow, are you back over from ZS6 IPS?
You said ZS6 SN were reporting back.
Good stuff. ZS6 KVN, ZS6 IPS.
ZS6 IPS, ZS6 KVN, back on frequency.
Thank you, ZS6 SR, ZS6 IPS.
ZS6 SR standing by.
Thank you, ZS6 Alpha Delta Tango, ZS6 IPS.
ZS6 Alpha Delta Tango standing by.
Thank you, ZS6 GRG, ZS6 IPS.
ZS6 GRG, full copy, still over.
Thank you, ZS6 FPS, ZS6 IPS.
ZS6 FPS, I'm standing by. Over.
Thank you, ZS6 Victor India Lima, ZS6 Oscar Papa Sierra.
ZS6 FPS, ZS6 VRL standing by.
Thank you, ZS6 JMG, ZS6 IPS.
ZS6 JNG standing by. And back to you, ZS6 FPS.
Thank you, ZS6 WHY, ZS6 IPS.
ZS6 WHY standing by. Back to you, ZS6 OPS.
Thank you. Right, are there any other late call-ins that would like to be added to the list quickly? ZS6 IPS, standing by.
ZS6 OPS, ZS6 JAP, Juliet Alpha Papa.
There we go. Yapi, trust you well. Did you go switch over to 145-400 by any chance, over?
Yes, I did. I received about half of the guys that I could have.
All right, good stuff. Maybe go over to 400 quickly. Yapi only, JAP only, and let's do this. Rory, Adrian, and Stephen, can you switch over to 400 for a minute? Yapi, if you could just call up and we'll tell you one by one if we can copy all the other stations. Please stand by on 625 from ZS6 IPS. All right, ZS6 JAP, ZS6 IPS, are you on frequency, over? Okay, Rory, could you try JAP for me from ZS6 IPS?
ZS6 Juliet Alpha Papa, ZS6 RBJ, you copy? No, can't hear anything there, chat.
Thanks, Adrian. Can you check JAP from 6 IPS?
ZS6 JAP, ZS6 more equally. ZS6 Sierra Leone, Juliet Alpha Papa.
Thank you, Stephen. Can you try from ZS6 IPS? ZS6 SJR, ZS6 IPS, Stephen, are you here? Okay, nothing heard, guys. Let's go back to 625. ZS6 IPS out. All right, ZS6 IPS returning to 625. Let's check. Yapi, are you back here? ZS6 JIP, ZS6 IPS. All right, good stuff. Did you copy any of us on 400 now? Adrian, Rory, or myself? ZS6 JIP, ZS6 IPS.
ZS6 I copied after the list up to 80 on Simplex, below 80.
All right, good stuff. Guys, let's check if anybody else has come up there. Are there any other stations that want to get added quickly? ZS6 IPS standing by. Oh, there we go, Mr. Rion. Welcome aboard. I got you there. A little bit low in signal, but you are coming through. Just tell us more or less where you're transmitting from. ZS6 MAN, ZS6 IPS.
I'm in Krugersdorp, very close to ZS6 J8. Also went to the Simplex 400. Didn't pick up anyone with the second call. I wasn't part of the first round. So I'm actually about 400 meters further away, but very close to the same area. ZS6 ZS6 MAN.
All right, good stuff. Quick question, hold on a second. ZS6 JIP, I'm going to close the net, but I want you just to stick around. I'm going to ask you a question after I've closed the net there. All right, guys, I think that was a pretty fruitful exercise yet again. Firstly, I'd like to welcome George, ZS6 GRG, back on the airways with a signal that we can actually hear through the repeater. George, really nice to hear you back up on air, man, and yeah, looking forward to having you up on a regular basis, like more regular. You got many months to catch up on. So for everybody that did tune up, fantastic. Thanks, guys, for coming in. I think yet again, the Simplex matrix testing is not only vital, but it will give you a good indication of who you can and cannot talk to. We haven't done it for several months, and I think it's just a little bit of a reminder for everybody. The other thing is it also shows that when antennas are decent antennas, we do tend to do a lot better than with some of the stuff that has been going up in recent history there. So fantastic. On that note, again, don't forget that, okay, those of you that are on Zoom, the 10-minute timeout warning has come up, so it will drop in a minute. Rion, Adrian, I'll reopen, and then if you can just come back up on Zoom for me once it does time out. With regards to the pandemic, guys, please be very careful. Stay at home. I know that we are under lockdown orders, but really don't venture out. Try and avoid the shops if possible, especially the larger shopping centers where the social distancing becomes a bit of a problem. Really, just be careful during this time. So on that note, I want to bid everybody 7-3, be safe, be prepared, and of course, be happy. This is ZS6 OPS releasing 145.625 for general use. Cheers all.
ZS6 OPS, ZS6
Go ahead, Battis from ZS6 OPS.
Yes, first I want to thank you, Rory, for the help today. I appreciate it. Then the second one, I went also onto the 145-400. I can hear you guys, but it seems that you guys can't hear me. ZS6 OPS, ZS6 VIL.
Yeah, affirmative on that one. Yuko, I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you shortly there. So just stick around there. All right, Bertus, like I said, I want to close the net. I'm running out of time on Zoom. I need to pick up on that. True, not all of us can hear you, not even John, who's the closest to you. So definitely still an antenna problem. I know you're out on the boundary and you're really pushing the limit there, but at least your signal into the repeater is much better than it used to be during the earlier days. ZS6 VIL, ZS6 OPS.
ZS6 OPS, ZS6 100%. Now, the only person I could hear was Steven ZS6 ECRN. The rest I couldn't hear, but like I said, it might be also where the white length is all that in the direction of things. So, ZS6 OPS, ZS6 VIL, ZS6.
All right, 7-3, catch you later. Adrian, Rion, I'm opening up Zoom. The session will now end. Just give it a few minutes to join up again and I'll pick up with you there. ZS6